This is a standard shop rider Cordova, but I've put 350 by 8 tyres on the wheels instead of the 300s what you get on it. So there are a few more alterations I've had to do. Because the wheels go round further where the tyres are bigger, really this is a shop rider normal standard front hub off of a Cordova, Sovereign or any of the rest. This is off a Cadiz, and because the tyres are bigger, then you're nearly hitting on this end where the wheel goes round. So you could either put on 2 Cadiz front hubs, or because I've got loads of spacers, or you can do it with a spacer and put the wheel on. Obviously, if you do it with a spacer, you've got to put slightly longer bolts through, whereas if you just swap to do the Cadiz front hubs, then you don't need any longer bolts. I used to throw these bits away, but I've found if you take this off and you cut this square, then you can use this bit to make the front, to make your front steering part to go on there. I've cut that off a bit to drop that down a bit, but it's so easy to line it up using one of these pieces. Because these wheels are bigger, I've chopped the chassis off there and sleeved it and put an inch piece in there and extended that 1 inch so that the wheels clear and don't hit the front of the chassis when you put your body on. The distance between these, on these bits that I've made, are the centres are 3 1/8 from centre to centre. On here, they're 6 1/8. So I've made up 2 bits of metal. So when you bolt this up, before you weld these bits on, you can get it perfectly right before you weld it up, so you're not going to get it in the wrong place when you've welded it. Some of these bits have got a 10mm hole in, and some of them have got an 8mm hole in. So if you were to cut that across there and make that square, then if you get one of these pieces, you can, with the 8mm hole, you can line it up in the middle so that when you weld it, you don't get it out of line. I've found if you want, when you make this bit here, okay, obviously you cut this off of one of these shafts that you're going to use up there. This is just a spare one that's going to be for another motor on there. If you get, because that, if you get a 10mm hole in there and a couple of 10mm nuts on there like that, that holds it dead in line so you can weld it so you're not getting it out of centre at all, so that you can make yourself one of these. Then after you've done it, obviously you can just spin, get an Allen key cut off, use a battery drill, you can just spin this bit out of there and then push the nuts through and it's done. I'm probably going to put one of these 12mm or 2 of these spacers behind the bigger bolts to bring the wheel out a bit, because either when you put your body on, you'll either have to go right close with the wood before you put your mudguards on, or if you bring the wheel out further, then obviously you'll be able to go down tighter to make the body different than it would be if you didn't have any spacers. Some people are using these little bushes and putting them in between the end of the axle and the wheel to bring it out. But what you're doing is you're making your job weaker. Rather than it be right over to the end, you're bringing it out here, and it's not such a strong job as spacing the wheels out. The width I've made the floor on this bit on here is roughly, it's 20 1/4 inches. In case you want to copy this at all. If you accidentally work it so your handlebars are not perfect in line, this straight with the wheels, you can adjust it by the track rod that's running from the steering there to the end here. You can alter it how you want to bring the wheels round that way a bit or vice versa. That's about it really.